Sherry's mind was a mess as she walked through the hotel's doors. In reality, she hadn't been needed here for weeks. While she did help out, fixing appliances or using her powers to make floral decorations, Charlie and Vaggie seemed too worried about solving the drama Vox and Velvet had caused when they came to the hotel. She was out that day running an errand, so she didn't know the details. From the guest whispers, Charlie looked like an idiot in front of Vox with her incompetent methods. And the media was even worse, claiming Charlie was a dictator trying to twist the world to her own regime. As Sherry walked through the halls, a familiar voice made her ears perk up. Hey, long time no see, Bun Bun. Husk smirked as he cleaned the glass behind the bar. Husk! She immediately smiled, making her way over to the bar, taking a seat on one of the plush stools. Hmm, Alistair's work, huh? Yeah, one of the little tweaks he gave this place, giving it a little bit of color, or whatever the fuck he said. Tusk shrugged at his description of the bar and what Alistair had done to it. But how have you been? You seem to be all over these days. You okay? Me? Oh, yeah. It's just been a lot going on recently, and I've been preoccupied. I'm sorry we haven't caught up yet. Sherry smiled, trying to mask her guilt. She was so focused on Alistair and trying to help that she didn't give Husk the time of day. They were friends, after all. She did care about him. But she blew everyone to the wind and so hyper-focused on Alistair and helping at the hotel. She didn't mean to do any of this. She was just confused, lost. She didn't really know. Hey, no hard feelings. I'm just glad to see you around again. It has been a while. Husk waved his hand, both dismissing and sensing Sherry's guilt. From behind the bar, he got to work. The sound of bottles clicking together brought Sherry back to simpler days, back when she was still human. The days she would sneak out of the manor and run to Mimsy's club. Even though alcohol was banned, Alistair had connections and ways of getting his fair share of booze. The idea that they could be arrested over simply having a few drinks while dancing as Alistair played the piano was both terrifying and thrilling to her. So, she began to seek out cheap thrills, mainly by exploring abandoned or haunted locations, but once, she even helped Alistair sneak in Canadian whiskey. It was hidden in a casket in a small cemetery outside of town, but the police found them. When they eventually lost them, Sherry couldn't stop laughing, her heart racing in her ears. It was freedom in its sheerest form, one she hadn't felt since her mother was alive, since her father locked her away. Even now, that feeling was still thrilling, and even now she craved it. The smell of lemon and honey filled the room, snapping her back to reality. She looked down at the glass that had been slid in front of her. Its light yellow color and little lemon slice sparked a memory in her mind. The first day she met Husk, a few days after he had lost his soul to Alistair. She did feel bad for him, but she couldn't do anything much against Alistair and his power. So, she simply ordered a bee's knees. You remembered. This one's my favorite. Of course I do. It was the only thing you'd really order. Always a bit picky with your drinks, weren't you? He said with a devious low chuckle. Hey, I wasn't picky, just particular, okay? I like what I like. Now, leave me alone. As Sherry enjoyed her drink, she felt two slender arms wrap around her shoulders, making her tense. Hey there, newbie, the voice said. Behind her, a spider demon stood, his chest fluffed inches away from her face. Oh, hello. And who are you? The spider seemed shocked at her question, his gold tooth glinting in the light. Wait, you don't know me? Nothing here looks familiar to you. Never seen stepbrother get stuck in a hula hoop? No. I don't really watch those kinds of films. Not for me, sorry. The spider seemed relieved at her words, as if he was glad she didn't know him. Well, ain't that something new? It's pretty rare to find someone who don't know me. I'm Angel. Angel Dust. I saw you and Al hanging out earlier today. You two friends or something? Oh, yes. I'm Sherry. Me and Al are close friends from She went to give Angel a handshake, but she didn't know which hand to shake exactly, since he had four of them. Angel laughed and shook her hand with his upper left hand. Nice to meet you. By the way, have you seen Al around lately? Vaggy's been pissed since he hasn't been doing nothing around here recently. Oh, he's off visiting an old friend. I'm not sure why though, he didn't give me the details. She looked away, taking a large sip from her glass. She could feel his eyes on him, husk his eyes, and that look that said, "You know something we don't." Angel shrugged and began talking to Husk, much to Sherry's relief. As she enjoyed the sweet and sour taste of her drink, Angel pulled out his phone. Hey, ever heard of a blobfish? He pulled out a photo of the sea creature in question, and it was certainly odd, like a mass of flesh and bone just sitting on a table. And while Husk found it disturbing, Sherry actually found it kind of cute, how pathetic it looked. Like she wanted to take it home and take care of it. See? At least someone here sees what I see. Angel pointed all four arms towards her, making her laugh. Husk rubbed his temples in playful annoyance. Look, Angel, I. Suddenly, they could hear little feet running towards the hotel, and Nifty stormed in. Oh, hey, Nif. Whoa, what the fuck? Nifty hoisted Husk over her head, running away and ranting about Alastor and how he was in trouble. A lot of weird shit happens around here. He looked back down at his phone, but Sherry was in shock. Alastor needing help? In trouble? That was never a good sign. She ran to the TV in the lobby and immediately switched to the news channel, and her eyes widened in horror. Alastor was fighting the Vees, all three of them at once. Vox's sparks rippled through the entertainment district. Windows had bullet holes from Valentino's guns, and Velvet's magic turned the city street into a war zone. Worst of all, Alastor seemed to be struggling, his damaged staff leaving him vulnerable and with weaker powers. When he tried to escape, Vox grabbed him by his wires, pinning him against a building. Someone should really put this thing out of its misery. With his claws, Vox tore through Alastor's stitches, making him bleed once again. Sherry flinched in horror and covered her mouth. Then Nifty arrived, with Husk unwillingly in tow. The trios then split, Husk against Velvet and Nifty against Valentino, leaving Alastor and Vox one-on-one. Sherry's eyes were locked on the TV, making the other guests stare at her. Eventually, Valentino pins Nifty to the ground, aiming his gun right at her face. Alastor panicked, his ears flattening as he yelled, "Wait! Call off your goons!" Raising his arms in surrender, he offered Vox a proposition, saying now or never in his usual smug tone. Vox held back Val with one of his wires as Alastor restitched his wound, pitching his case. Vox seemed bored, until the part of the deal got interesting. With his shadows, he made a small illustration of himself standing by the V's before being locked away in a small cage, offering to be their prisoner on one condition. He would not lay a hand on Charlie Morningstar. Vox, in disbelief, began to laugh maniacally, before taking Alastor's hand, sealing their deal. As sparks flew from their hands, they could be felt everywhere across the city. And Sherry still sat there shocked in front of the TV. Alastor had willingly lost the fight, against Vox no less. That was impossible. Her body moved first, running faster than she thought possible. Her feet ached from their earlier walking through Cannibal Town, but she didn't care. Her lungs burned, her muscles screamed, but she ran to the heart of the entertainment district. All over her, screens flashed with headlines. The great Alastor defeated, Vox Tech CEO captured reigning overlord. They all flashed one title after another, and even a few minutes later, the news broke out that Alastor didn't have a tail. And yet, Alastor sat through the humiliation, his hands tied both figuratively and literally, and tape over his mouth with a cartoon frown drawn on top of it. The massive crowds and constant buzzing overwhelmed Sherry, making her ears curl into themselves. The entire street was bathed in a ghoulish blue light. Alastor sighed in relief as he heard the snores of Vox and Valentino. After being forced to watch Vox and Valentino make love, his ears reveled in the silence. With the tape now gone, his teeth glowed a fade yellow. His static filled the room. As he began to fall asleep, he felt faint rumbling under his feet. Initially, he thought it was simply Zizi passing by, but then He saw small vines crawl under the windows that lined the tower's exterior, trying to open it, but the glass wouldn't budge. The vines then retreated as Alistair quickly spun around in the chair to look behind him. Luckily, the two were still asleep. But wait, was that vase always there? And was it always filled with lavender? More so, were those eyes in the flowers? The lavender began to emit a dark purple smoke, making a soft yet pleasant smell fill the air. Vox and Valentino began to stir at the unfamiliar scent. But the moment they breathed in the smoke, they fell asleep once more, a much deeper sleep, their chests barely rising or falling as their bodies went limp. Phew, thank goodness. It actually worked. The voice seemed to come from the flower on the nightstand. Was Alistair going insane, or was it Vox messing with him again? The rumbling grew louder and stronger as the window shattered into a million pieces. From the rubble sprouted a massive flower bud. As it opened, it revealed Sherry standing inside. Oh my god. Alistair! She ran to his side, pulling him into a quick hug before pulling away, scanning his face and body for any wounds or injuries. Alistair, are you okay? Did they hurt you? How's your chest? Are you okay? Sherry, what are you doing here? I thought after. His eyes locked on hers as she kept fretting over him. She came back after everything he had said and done. She was still here, looking after him? She sighed as she finished her examination. Look, I'm still pissed at you, but I'm not leaving you here. So, just hold still. I'll get you out. Similar to Rosie, Sherry snapped her fingers, summoning a knife out of a cloud of dark rose smoke, getting ready to cut the wires that binded Alistair. Wait. Stop! You can't, Sherry. Me and Vox have a deal, and if you try to interfere, it will break. Isn't that what you want? Vox can't keep you here, and I am damn sure not sitting here and watching you do this to yourself. As she went to cut the wires, one of his shadows grabbed her arm. Sherry, my dear, please. I know what I am doing. Just give me time to settle my accounts, darling. Once I am free, I will come and find you again. As he spoke, his facade slipped on like a well-worn mask, which only pissed off Sherry more. That's it? This is your big master plan? Just stay under his thumb and hope he breaks your deal? Just come back to the hotel, Alistair. We'll be safe, and I'm sure Rosie will— Rosie isn't going to help us! She is not our friend, she is not our ally, and she will be no help. I have to do this. At least she cares about us. She's the only person who can— Oh yes, and my busted staff and scarred chest are just oozing compassion from her, now are they? I will solve my own problems without her or your help, so please leave. I don't need nor want you here. The room went dead silent, the only sound being Vox and Valentino's faint breathing as they slept. Sherry clenched her fist, making the knife disappear. If this should go south, I'm not coming back to save you. I spent 8 long years missing you. Missing my friend. Missing the man I thought I knew. But now, I can't even tell who you are anymore. You've changed so much, yet so little at the same time. I really hope this works out for you. She walked away, back to the flower she came on. But she took one last look at him, trying to find her friend behind his eyes. But she saw no such man. With one last snap, the lavender was gone, the window now magically fixed. As she left into the night, leaving Alistair alone once more, he clenched his teeth, trying to bury his feelings, but his heart yearned for her, for the care she kept showing him, even after everything, longing for her touch, for her voice. How can a heart that had long stopped beating yearn for comfort? He knew what he had done, burned the bridge she kept rebuilding one last time before she was tired of it. His ears flattened and quivered. A tear rolled down his cheek, falling between his feet. Before he realized it, he was crying. Please, Monchet, come back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Shetty. My love, please come back to me. I don't want to be alone. As he finally fell asleep, His mind was plagued by nightmares. In his mind, he heard her begs and her pleas for him to stay, to talk to her, to simply say what was wrong, but he refused to every single time. And above all, that thing, that strange angel with the singular black wing looked down on him as if he was her prey. What a shame. She truly did love you, truly cared for you with everything her little heart could give. And what did you leave her with? Nothing but misery. And now she's gone. All because